Welcome to the Young CEO Mastermind session. I am your host. My name is Andre Kennedy, aka Free Play Dre. Back at you guys once again. We host these calls every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, for those of you guys that are already in the mentorship program, you guys have purchased major one-time fee of $100, and you guys are enrolled in our lifetime mentorship program. You guys are already involved in the course. You guys are able to access all the information that I have for you guys, and you guys are able to get that one-on-one coaching, right? So, with that being said, you guys are the ones that are going to go to the next level if you apply the information, right? So I want to update you guys on what's been going on as of recent. Some of you guys know, some of you guys don't, but if you guys are curious, go check out my last YouTube video. But basically, the reason why we haven't had a recent live session last Sunday is because I'm in the process of closing on a new real estate property. Okay, this will be my second rental, adding to the portfolio along with all of my rental cars. I have 4 rental cars as of right now, 4 of which being one, a Kia Rio. It's a Kia Rio 2013. I have a Ford Fiesta 2012. I have a Ford Fiesta 2015, and I have a Tesla Model S P85. Okay, those are my 4 rental cars that I'm renting out right now. They bring me in about 500 a piece per car, and that's just roughly averaging out for the whole year per month. Okay, because you do have your slow months and you do have your better months, right, where you rack in way more than $500. But to compensate for those slow months, I kind of averaged it out, add up all the numbers, divided by how many months there is in a year, and that'll give me roughly about $500 per vehicle. Okay. So you guys got to really, plan out your seasons ahead of time if you're interested in getting into the car rental game, because there's peak times and there's slow times, right? So that's what comes along with pretty much a lot of these businesses. Right now, we're in Q4. A lot of people are buying Christmas gifts, right? So the e-commerce business is booming, right? Not a whole lot of people's transporting. They did during Thanksgiving time and probably during Christmas as well, a little bit, but not necessarily the rental car game is really going crazy right now. Now, I will say all of my cars are booked at this point in time of this video. So, with that being said, we are gearing towards Christmas in about 2 weeks. These cars are still booked, okay, even though it's a slow period and slow season. So, you guys know those initial investments were about 5 to 6 grand per vehicle. They've paid me back pretty much double. Plus, I still have access to the vehicle and I can then resell it. Okay, so I could put it on the lot, pretty much list it up for sale, and I'll get some buyer, especially for the price that I would list it for, because I've already made my money back from the vehicle, right? So that's the great thing about this car rental space. Looking forward to locking in my next location. I'm already speaking to an owner of a property that's vacant, looks to be a car lot, and it's not being used. And I'm sure I could, being that it's in a high traffic area, I'm sure I could take this opportunity and create my own rental car fleet coming out of that location. So that is the next steps. That's the next goal. In the midst of that, obviously, I'm going to be renovating this new property that I've just purchased. I'll be renovating the property, getting it up and running, and it'll rent for about $750 to $1,000 per month. So you guys know, how to get access to funding. Okay, I teach you guys my strategies, right? Build your personal credit, utilize OPM, other people's money, aka the bank's money, to then leverage at 0% interest. If you can obtain business credit, you can get 0% interest business credit cards. You can liquidate those credit cards and make business plays. Okay. And when I say business plays, I mean you could liquidate $10,000, $20,000 worth of capital and go into these deals with cash and flip, maybe even renovate a property, right? In my local area, I could pick up properties for 10 to 20K all day long. Okay, 10 to 20K, I could go in there with some extra additional capital that I've racked up from funding, and I could fix the property up using that funding, and then I can rent that baby out for 750 to 1,000 per month. It'll take care of that initial investment plus some in the next 1 to 2 years. Okay. So that's kind of my short-term method for investing, and that's the strategy that I've been utilizing to run up some bread. It's called the BRRR method, the Burr method, right? You buy a property, you renovate that property, then you put a renter in that property, right? And now that that property is up, it's running, it's renting, you pull the equity. So you refinance on that property to pull the equity out of the house, because now you bought it for 20, but you renovated it. Now it's worth 100. You could pull out 80% of the 100, and you basically just pulled out your own money. Plus now you have a loan at a super low interest rate, right? Typically with mortgages, they're the lowest interest rate for the longest term that you can have. So that money at that cheap rate, you can then go and put into other properties and make that money double and double and double, right? So if you're smart, you can utilize what I just spoke to you guys to be able to really create generational wealth for you and your family. Okay. And this is all a simple strategy, right? This is how we become full-time CEOs, full-time investors, right? In this game. Because once you have good credit, you can utilize these strategies to maximize how much you can get from the bank. So let's take a look at the whiteboard real quick. And just going to give you guys a little quick jot down on the whiteboard real quick, right? Let's go into the whiteboard today. So let's just talk about credit, right? I'm going to just draw here briefly. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to try to stretch it out as best as I can. But let's just say you got an approval, right? Let's just say you got an approval for a credit card. You got an approval for your credit card. This is your credit card. Okay. You got some little numbers down here. Boom. Okay. So you got approved for your credit card. Boom. So now, once you got approved for your credit card, let's say you only got approved for a $5,000 limit. Okay. So you got approved for 5,000, right? Now, out of this 5,000, if this is a personal credit card, you guys cannot utilize the whole maximum amount of this credit card, right? You can only utilize 30% of this overall limit. So what is 30% of 5,000? Well, $300 times 5 would be 1,500, right? So 300 times, so it'd be 1,500 is what you would be able to use out of this overall credit limit without it docking your score and you losing that 700 status. Okay. This is how much you are able to use because this is 30%, right? This is 30% right here. Okay. You got approved for the credit card. You got a 5,000 limit. Okay, cool. You can only utilize 30% of that, which is $1,500. Okay. So what can you do with this 1,500? Because now you got to think, okay, well, what can I invest 1,500 in that can make me some money? Well, you can go short term. You can get a vending machine. I'm not going to sit here and try to draw a vending machine. I guess you guys, okay. That would be a vending machine. Boom, snacks in there. Boom. This generates you $200 a month. Okay. Vending machines won't make that much. High traffic areas, you might make 500. You can make more than 200. But you know, expect to make around 200 if it's not super fast, decent traffic, right? 200. So you got a $1,500 machine, you're making $200 a month off that machine. It'll pay itself off in a year would be 2,400. So let's see. Well, it'll be 3 months if it's $500 a month, and it'll be about 10 months, a little under 10 months if you are doing $200 a month with that vending machine. Okay, so that's one way you can make the money back. Boom, that'll pay back the credit card. Okay, but guess what? You still have the asset, which is the vending machine, which is still going to continue to make $200 to $500 a month cash flow. Okay, so you just added an extra stream of income. It didn't cost you any money because you paid back the credit card, that $5,000 approval. Plus, not to mention, a lot of these credit cards that got $5,000 limits have a bonus. Let's talk about the bonus. They say if you spend 1,000 in the first 6 months, 1,000 in the first 6 months, we'll give you $200 cash back. Okay, so $200 bonus. Boom. So you met that requirement. You bought the vending machine. You spent $1,000, so you got that $200 bonus. So that means you already knocked this down, which you have to pay back $200. So now you really only have to pay $1,300, and you'll be able to pay it quicker. Plus, you'll be able to have an asset that's cash flowing and making you money. And this is just short term, right? Imagine if this asset changes and it's no longer a vending machine only making you 400 or 200 to 500. Now you got a house. Okay, now you got a house, and the house is bringing $1,000 a month. Okay, and let's say your limit wasn't 5 grand, it was 20,000. Okay, 20,000, and you still got a bonus. So let's just, keep that in mind. Boom, still keep the bonus. But now you got $20,000 limit. You use that to buy this house, which was maybe 10 grand. Okay. This house was 10 grand. This is just a bigger scale, right? It's just a bigger scale. You bought the house for 10 grand. You had to put another 10 into it. You're all in 20. So this is the 10 grand plus 10 grand that you had to put into it. You're at 20 for the house. The house is bringing you 1,000 a month. It's going to pay itself off in 2 years, right? Because you had to put 20 into it. It's paying 1,000 a month. It's going to pay itself off in 2 years. That's 24 months. It'll actually pay itself off in a little under than 2 years. But you guys are getting the concept, right? There's a little bit more that goes into this, utilities, taxes, things like that. So it gets a little complicated when you add those things into it. So your cash flow gets a little bit tighter. But it just takes longer to recoup the money. But at the end of the day, you're going to recoup the money, and then this is going to be a cash flowing asset, free and clear, with no balance on your credit card left, right? So you guys see the infinite money loop. And this is all what you can do with good credit, right? You need a 700 plus. You guys need a 700 plus to start getting approved for $5,000 and $20,000 limits. I have the funding blueprint. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys go to dazzloo.com, DAZLOO, dazzloo.com. I'll break this down for you. I'll teach you how to get the funding that you need. You'll be connected with like-minded individuals that'll help encourage and motivate you along this journey. We also share each other's posts, market, organic marketing, word of mouth, right? Branding this as a young collaboration of entrepreneurs who are coming together to buy assets and make money, right? So with that being said, fam, this is the blueprint. You guys see a bunch of numbers. You guys can screenshot that if you want it. I broke it down for you pretty much in this live. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Make sure y'all smash that like button on this video and make sure y'all subscribe for more content just like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.